Good evening and welcome to Friday Night Thunder. Tonight, we bring you amazing racing from the last great Coliseum at Bristol. Season 3, Round 8 of the Friday Night Thunder ARCA series brings you to Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm your host, Snake, and of course, I got my partner in crime, Smokin' Joe. Welcome, Joe. How you doing?
Well, we're here for another week of action. Back to some old short track racing here at the Concrete Half Mile, the world's last Coliseum, or greatest Coliseum, or Cereal Bowl, if you're Tony Stewart. We're ready for some short track racing here tonight from these boys.
Yeah, it's made of concrete. So, with that being said, things are really heating up. You see the temperature of 88 degrees, warm track temperature. Things will cool off as we transition and go under the lights for the main event. Right now, track temperature of 91 degrees. And we should shape up for some really good racing there. I hardly see a cloud in the sky, Joe. So I'm ready to get buckled in and go for a ride myself. But let's go ahead and take a look at those point standings before they get to qualifying here and get you all caught up on the latest. So as you can see with that beautiful graphic there, Kenneth Redinger is still your points leader. The reigning series champion has himself a slight advantage over Joe Volpus in second. Eric Gambrell in third is right behind Joe. And Justin Parham, he's on the prowl. You've seen him, he's on a heater lately, so we'll have to keep an eye out for him. Matt Novella in fifth. Steve Lewis in sixth, and Jay Stinson definitely trying to make a march as well in seventh. Dalton Connor in his rookie campaign in eighth. Tommy Fox, the model of top 10 consistency, in ninth. And Matthew Fritzy in 10th, Joe.
Yeah, those guys currently round out your top 10. They need to keep up the hard work in order to make sure they make it in on points and get enough starts. Brandon Garand not here tonight, so that's going to be a big loss for him on that cut
Uh-oh.
line. John Beverly is here, so a big makeup for him to get
Dun, dun,
up in the points.
dun.
No Jack Sanders, no Buddy Sully either. So Andrew Davis has an opening here to maybe get into the top 12, along with David Brenner having the ability to make up a lot of points here tonight as well.
So big potential chase implications there. If we take a look at our season graphic, take a look at the schedule here, we're winding things down. This is round 8 tonight at Bristol. We have just a few more races, just 4 more after tonight. So big points here being gained and lost at Bristol. You look ahead, you got Kentucky, the mile-and-a-half layout that always breeds really good racing, and then the unpredictable Talladega. Could be anybody's guess there. And then we go back to more of a technical 1.5 mile layout in Homestead. That's a love-hate for a lot of these guys in the series with that track. And then we take a break for the Easter Bunny to bring us some chocolates. And then we wrap up the regular season with another wild card at Daytona. So you need to buckle in and catch all the action every week, because I feel big swings in either direction. You're going to see comers and goers at this point in the season now.
Yeah, lots of tracks to really start playing out the way this is going to end. Bristol is going to be the last true gauntlet in terms of technicality, I think, because Kentucky Homestead are all about momentum and tire wear, and then Talladega Daytona is all about strategy and avoiding the big one.
Just want to be at the right place at the right time. We'll go ahead and look on board. I think qualifying is underway, so we'll go ahead and ride with Joe Amato making an appearance tonight. Amato currently third out of 4 qualifiers thus far. Joe Volpus currently early with the pole there. Matthew Fritz and Jay Stinson looking pretty fast too. You see the difference in the times there. Everybody running quite similarly at the moment. And there's David Brenner himself. David Brenner back in action in that 22 machine. He's one to look out for, as he is always a top 10 threat and a formidable short track racer in his own right.
Yeah, you can see it right there. He's fifth fastest, half a second off. Volp is on the first lap. Second lap, good enough to get up to a little bit closer, but still fifth out of the 5 that have put down a lap time.
So we'll see how that stands as we move on through the field here. And looking at the 99 machine, Justin Parham, no stranger to poles and podium finishes. Justin in the 99, very fast, looking pretty slick out there, currently 6th. Let's see if he can build on that with lap 2.
Yeah, 6th out of 6, so we're still looking to see who's able to put down a really good lap time here for qualifying purposes. Second lap in for Parham only gets him up to 4th on the board.
Justin with P4 at the moment. Volpus still on the point. Andrew Davis, good to see Andrew Davis back. We saw that thrilling finish a couple weeks ago at New Hampshire. It looks like he's trying to get the necessary starts in to make that charge for the chase. Looking at Dalton Connor right now in the top 10 as well. Dalton firmly rooted in that 8th position in the points, qualifying 9th thus far. And there's the man himself, Joe, this series defending champion and current leader, Kenneth Redinger. Watching him in practice, that car looked smooth. It looked like it was on rails. So let's see what Ken brought to the track tonight.
Not really good on the first lap. Only 9th out of 10 that have so far put down a lap time. Only a 10th and a half off, though, pretty much. So we'll see if he's got a good pickup on the second lap.
Yeah, these times are very close. If you look at the telemetry here, it looks like Ken's making a charge there. Let's see, and that's going to move him up to 7th, so up 2 on the tower. And there's the man himself, Joe, Steve Lewis. Steve Lewis with that MRL broadcasting machine, the Fast Louie, Air Louie. Look at that, he got himself a pole. Check him out, currently top of the leaderboard. Steve Lewis. He come to play tonight. Look at that lap time. Currently top of the leaderboard.
Not faster on the second lap. Zach Stevens going to be the last one to throw down a lap time here. Oh, and there it is. To the top of the boards.
So Steve Lewis quickly there with the pole, and then Zach Stevens said, "Hey, hold my beer. Check me out." So Zach Stevens looks like he's going to be your pole sitter tonight. Congratulations to Zach as he's going to top the leaderboard to start this race. And we'll take a look at our qualifying results. Zach Stevens there, a heater, a sub 15-second lap time in the ARCA car. That's pretty impressive. Steve Lewis going to start outside row 1 in P2. Joe Volpus, a solid qualifying effort, going to start inside row 2. Matthew Fritz going to be up top. Jay Stinson qualifies 5th, so he'll be 3. His counterpart from the Bristol area, Eric Gambrill, going to be outside row 3. Looking further back, you see Justin Parham and Joe Amato, row 4. Ken Redinger and David Brenner round out row 5.
Yep. Then you got a couple more guys to put down lap times, those being Andrew Davis in 11th and Dalton Connor in 12th. And then you have your 5 not qualifiers going to start from the tail. 13th, 14th, Bolander and Kevin Kyle. Then you got Novella Beverly on row 8, and Tommy Fox going to round out the field here for tonight's race at Bristol.
So a little strategy at play for some of those that did not qualify. They've had some instances here recently in other series racing here at Bristol where they put down a qualifying effort and let's just say the caution flag was waving excessively in a few of those different series events. So those guys a little gun shy, going to start from the back of the field and see how the start of this race pans out.
Yep, still waiting on everybody to grid up here, so we still got about a good minute or so until we go green. So I think it's a good time just to run a quick ad as we wait for everybody to grid up.
Yeah, so we'll go ahead and do that. There's a gentleman that does a great job, and he's got a question for you.
Here at KK Woodscapes, we only work with the finest woods, the finest tools. We sand the wood here at KK Woodscapes. We stir the paint with a wooden stick here at KK Woodscapes. And then we brush the wood with a wooden brush here at KK Woodscapes. And when it's all said and done, we have these perfectly manicured nails. Put the plaques in the trophies, in the envelopes, ship them to your box, and on your way to you to commemorate your special day. Got wood, KK Woodscapes.
I know I've already got some wood just watching that ad, folks. If that's something that appeals to you, Kevin Kyle can make wonderful trophy designs, plaque designs, recognition, whatever you can think of. He can put it to the test and bring it to life. So reach out to KK Woodscapes today. Joe, we're here at the Concrete Playground, the last great Coliseum of Bristol, Thunder Valley. What are we looking at for strategy tonight? Things to look for.
Well, we got a 200 lap race, very straightforward one in terms of strategy. If it goes green, everybody can make it on one stop here. You got 2 additional sets of tires in the pits, so we may see guys try and do a 2-stopper here. If this thing does go green, try and get some advantage with fresher tires later on in the run. But tire wear hasn't been too extreme in terms of fall off after the first few laps with these cars. We're seeing anywhere from 0.8 to a second fall off, and once they fall off, they plateau.
So very interesting here. We're going to see what happens. It'd be a lovely thing if we could see long green flag run, see how the strategy plays out. And hopefully the Bristol bug doesn't come out and bite these guys on the track with caution after caution. Only time will tell. It is short track racing. It is high banks. Pace car is off, and we're off on Friday Night Thunder. Look at that, Zach Stevens with a great jump, but Steve Lewis matches him toe-to-toe on the outside. They're row by row. Stevens with the slight advantage. Steve Lewis fights back on the outside. The high line is going to really rip those tires early, so Steve Lewis may want to consider battling or maybe getting out of the way early. Zach Stevens gets credit for leading lap 1 on Friday Night Thunder.
Steve Lewis trying to use this high line to go as fast as he can, make a move around the outside. Would love to lead a lap or two right here. He's going to get it done right there.
Yeah, Steve Lewis there. So Stevens gets credit for lap 1. Now Steve Lewis, your new race leader in that 88 machine. Joe Volpus in third. It's a tight little group right there. Steve Lewis going to maintain the bottom. You want to wrap the bottom, but you want to be careful of that apron. It'll reach out and bite you and send your car up the track.
Yep, Steve Lewis goes from second to first here early, leading laps. Other guys moving right now. The fastest car on the track that last time was Eric Gambrill. He's now up into fourth after starting in sixth. He's making some moves here early on. I'm also looking at Joe Amato, 2 cars behind, up 2 spots. Now up 3 spots as he gets around Fritz out of turn 2.
Look at Amato there, riding it really high against the wall there. Joe Amato gains the position in the 19, charging early there. Looks like Fritz is content to ride right now. Let the race come to him. Don't want to burn those tires up too early, chasing these positions. So hopefully you get settled, get into a groove, and let that car come to you. But you see Gambrill there on the heels of Volpus. Eric Gambrill, the menace, the Rainbow Warrior Jr. He's coming for Volpus.
Yeah, right now Steve Lewis, though, doing a good job controlling the race here early. Just trying to do what he can, managing the tires, I believe, to the best of his ability. Leading laps for the first time this season as well, I believe. So Steve Lewis getting it done here early. Zach Stevens kind of backing it up a little bit there, maybe trying to get a run. Almost backed up into the 13, and now the 46 going to shoot to the outside.
Gambrill going to try that outside there, trying to weave his way. That's going to create a little bit of chaos. Volpus looking underneath. Stevens doesn't know where to defend just yet. He's kind of leaving that door open on the bottom there. You saw Volpus taking a look earlier, but Gambrill going to take that position, slide into second place. He's on the heels of Steve Lewis. We'll see if Lewis can control the pace. And look at Joe Amato there, going to try to make the move on Stevens as well. Amato rail riding up high there. Check him out.
Yeah, these guys moving to the second lane, trying to get some momentum here early. Got to be careful, though, of using it too much for tire wear purposes. You can see Gambrill gets the wall a little bit there, trying to go for the lead.
Absolutely. Battle for the lead. Gambrill going to take it up high. He's got the advantage. Going to slide down. New leader, Eric Gambrill in that 46. And let's see if Steve Lewis goes to respond or just content to lead a few laps here. And then that way he can maybe manage his pace some. But Lewis there is looking to put almost the bumper, the nose to that rear. Joe Amato charging hard. Look at Joe Amato running the top. My concern this early, Joe, if Amato keeps running the highline like that, we know it can be like a cheese grater on these general tires. So I just don't know if that's a sustainable strategy at the moment.
Yeah, right now you can see Amato trying to use that eyeline as much as possible to try and get around Steve Lewis here. These guys pulling away from fourth place now as Joe Volpus got around Zach Stevens. Those guys right now trying to just run the bottom and not push their tires too hard. But Joe Amato really pushing him hard here, trying to use the second lane.
Yeah, Joe Amato trying to run qualifying laps out there. He's got a head of steam pushing that car and letting Lewis know he's there. It's a 3-car breakaway currently at Bristol. We're only 15 laps in. These laps click off rather quickly, Joe. So, I mean, it's just a matter of time. Blinking, we're 40, 50 laps into a run. Gambrell able to maintain control and the pace rather well. Eric Gambrell, one of his favorite tracks here is Bristol, so no surprise he's out here leading laps and showing off in front of the fans and to his other competitors. But check out Amato right there. Amato really giving Lewis fits.
Yeah, right now trying to find any way he can around that 88 and try and battle for the lead. Joe Amato has a win here in the Bonfire Big Truckin' Tuesday series in the past, so showing some ability to have some good speed here. We'll see how well it translates to the ARCA car tonight. But right now, getting really aggressive, it looks like, with Steve Lewis. And now Steve Lewis gets in the back of the 46.
I think you wanted to, quote-unquote, rattle his cage right there. If any of you fans remember some iconic Bristol races from the late 90s, Steve Lewis putting the bumper to the nose to that bumper. But Joe Amato putting all the pressure on the 88. I think that induced the contact with Gambrell there.
Yeah, definitely induced something between the two of them. right now, Steve Lewis gets a little loose out of turn 2. Amato looking to the inside now.
Comes Amato. He's gonna put the contact.
Boy.
He's gonna put the nose to the door on the 88. He said, "I got places to go, Steve. I got a leader to catch." Steve Lewis content to let him go and tuck behind. Vulpes cautiously watching from 4th there, saying, "Hey guys, let's keep it all in one piece. It's a little early for that."
Yeah, these guys battling hard. This has let Gambrell get almost a second lead now from these boys. So that's something to look out for here as the race goes on. Amato is up to second, but he's now a second behind Gambrell, who's now pulled away.
Absolutely. So these guys fighting and wrestling just gives Eric the early advantage out there. So we'll just have to keep an eye out there. We'll see if Gambrell is pushing that car a little too hard or he's just keeping a nice even pace. But you see him running the bottom. You see a smooth entry and a smooth apex and roll out of the turns. And now you see Amato there adhering to that bottom line there as well. Maybe cool those tires down a little bit. I know he pushed him early, but he's able to maintain a nice pace over Lewis and Vulpes. But you see they're just going single file at the moment, not looking to spice it up just yet.
Yeah, right now we're 25 laps in, so we're only an eighth of the way through this race and about a quarter of the way through this run. So a lot of racing left to be had before this race really starts to settle in. Gambrell got to be careful that he's not using up too much tire, because I think Amato might be in that situation right now with the way this battle's going for second.
Yeah, absolutely. So look at Vulpes looking underneath there. Oh, Lewis said, "Oh my." Joe Amato with a problem off the track, able to save it. Good save for Joe Amato there. Maybe just a product of pushing that car early there. Got a little loosey-goosey. He's going to lose a lot of positions there, but he kept it in one piece. And now you see him coming. Oh, nope. Failed attempt at pitting. Remember, folks, you have to use the traditional style of pitting and go down both pit lanes to get service.
Not here tonight. You can use only the front stretch. And it looks like the 19 is done for the night.
Yeah, he screams it in there and said, "F that, I'm out." Joe Amato, with a lot of promise early, decides to hang it up and park it.
Zach Stevens, your pole sitter, trying to put pressure on the 13 car right now.
Yeah, Zach Stevens looking really good. Bless you there, Joe. That car is looking really good. The 47 there, trying to take a look inside the 13. You can see he's got pretty good pace right there, trying to look to see if he could set up a move. And Matthew Fritz right behind there, just steadily stalking.
There he goes to the inside of the 88, goes Joe Vulpes. Zach Stevens going to try and follow through. Fritz right there as well.
Going to be a 2-for-1 there. Both the 13 and the 47 get by the 88. The 88 trapped up top. The 48 looking inside as well. Steve Lewis there. He's going to bleed positions. Jay Stinson in the 98 now making a move. And you see Justin Parham there in tow. Steve Lewis is going the wrong way right now after leading laps early with a great qualifying effort. The 88 is stuck up high as Stinson and Parham get by. And look at Ken Redinger. He's looking to get a piece of the action as well. The 24 is going to set up a move as well. Steve Lewis going backwards at Bristol.
Oh, it's all the way to 8th when it's said and done right there. Way back goes Steve Lewis. And I'm sure he's not going to be very happy with losing all those spots right there. So he's now the biggest loser in the field to this point, with Joe Amato out of the race altogether. So Steve Lewis down 6 spots. But your biggest winner to this race so far is still your race leader, Eric Gambrill, gone 6th to 1st here in the first 35 laps.
Eric Gambrill with a near 1.5 second advantage currently. 25 laps led out of 36 to this point on Friday Night Thunder. Doing a masterful job early. We'll see if he can continue this pace and have a good long run effort. But just as we witnessed those Team Venom boys, Fritz and Stinson and Parham, and then Ken Redinger there making the moves. And you see Andrew Davis was the 37, now the 33 looking at making a move on the 88 as well. That target machine looking pretty racy tonight. Andrew Davis knows what he has to do. He has to put good races together. He has to steadily march in those points to make the chase, and it all starts with making moves like here, moving up through the top 10.
It looks like John Beverly has parked it here as well. So that brings us down to 15 cars left and 2 cars out in the first 40 laps here tonight.
Yeah, I hear over the radio, he worked a 14-hour shift and said, I'm not trying to turn left for 200 laps. He started, got what he could, and he 77 parked it for the night. So we'll look at the points afterward. But 2 cars retired after 40 laps of 200 here at Bristol. As you see, the sun is going down. We're transitioning into the night. The lights are on, so we'll just get dark, and we'll see if there's more grip, Joe, or we'll see if it becomes a little bit more slick out there. Only time will tell with that concrete. We've talked about it before. That concrete is a double-edged sword, and you see Steve Lewis continues to run on that high side as well. Well, check it out. Steve Lewis still bleeding positions. Where'd that 18 come from? A lot of speed right there.
Olander up 4 spots now, 13th to 9th here at this point in the race. And it looks like the battle up front's starting to heat up now for the race lead.
There it is. Joe Volpis reeling in that 46. Is the 46 backing that pace down, or did he shoot his bullets a little too soon? The 13 is on the prowl, and you see Zach Stevens right behind him. So it's only a matter of time. Joe Volpis slightly faster each lap, as you see him 10th by 10th, gaining those car lengths. Just a 2-car length lead for Gambrill after he had a 1.5 second advantage just 5 laps ago.
Yeah, right now, only 0.2 of a second now here as this race slowly winds down to the halfway point of the first run. So things just starting to get to that point where the tire wear should start setting in. And look at this. Now the top 7 are within 1.5 seconds of each other.
Look at the 47 of Stevens apply a little pressure to the 13 there. 13 clearly faster than the 46 here. It's Volpis being patient. Going to look inside to set up the move. Gambrill goes high. They're side by side. We got a battle for the lead here. 13 with the slight advantage, but the 46 carries the momentum. Going to get credit for that lap led, but Volpis still battles back in turns 1 and 2. It's a drag race down the back straight.
Yeah, these guys going side by side for the lead. Looks like the high line is prevailing with the momentum here at this point, however, even though the 46 has beat up his tires.
Absolutely. So the 46 able to use the high line for an advantage for about a lap or 2, but you see him quickly retake the lead and go right back down to the bottom, Joe.
Yeah, so it looks like the bottom is definitely the place you want to be in clean air, but to defend the high line working its magic right now.
Check it out. Volpis looks inside yet again. The 46 goes up top and battles back. Gambrill going to have the advantage on exit again. Joe Volpis just has to go back and rethink this. Maybe Volpis decides to get a little risky here and maybe try a move on the outside, do you think, as he goes to the inside once again? Do you think maybe if he can't complete this pass that he'll try the outside? Gambrill a little trouble, maybe scratch the wall a little bit.
Well, if he goes to the outside, he's going to have to move him up into the wall, and that's just going to create a huge wreck. So that would just be very uncharacteristic of something Joe Vulpes would do. I think the 22's got some problems.
Oh, David Brenner slow on the track there. David Brenner, that car is making some really weird physics on the track. I think there was some contact there. I don't know if he hit the
Him and
wall, but he's
Steve
down.
Lewis had some contact. That's what I'm hearing across the radio.
Uh-oh, Lewis and Brenner with a little contact there. That's not going to help the 22's chances, as he's going to have to go and get service, potentially use that fast repair. That's going to put you multiple laps down, and we've been green thus far, Joe, so that's really going to hurt the 22.
Yes, it is. A lot, especially if we don't have any cautions. Lap 54 now. You're going to lose probably at least 2 to 3 laps there getting that thing fixed with the fast repair and tires and everything.
Absolutely. This top 3 is packed, actually top 4 if you take a look. Stinson behind as well. Stinson able to get around Fritz as well as Parham and Redinger there. Look at side by side. Stevens looking to go on the outside there. Challenge Vulpes for second. See if that high line carries that momentum.
He's going to go way up high. Haven't seen anybody up there at this point yet, and it looks like it's going to get him the momentum and complete the pass.
Yeah, Zach Stevens with an incredible move. Jay Stinson is going to try and do the same thing. That's really a high arc and diamond approach in the corners. I really haven't seen that up until this point tonight. Stinson looks like he's going to have the advantage, and he's going to gain the position. Vulpes from second to fourth in 1 lap.
Yeah, right now it looks like these guys are still all under a blanket, though, trying to figure out if the high line or the low line is better to run. Look at Stinson peeking on the outside.
Stinson taking a peek, thought better of it. Zach Stevens trying to size up that 46. The 47 really takes it up high. That's a Dale Jr. type line at Bristol. Incredible to watch, but Stinson is going to steal that and say, hey, man, I got second. Check me out. Jay Stinson making a look at the lead as well. Stinson really coming to life here later in the run. The 98 and the 46. These two have had history across the series of MRL. Will they keep it clean? Will they add a new chapter? But the 46 right now able to hold the advantage for now.
Yeah, right now, Gambrell's still using this outside to the best of his ability, but the 98 looks like he might have a better control on the inside than Stevens and Vulpes and might be able to get it done.
Stinson able to keep the nose with the door as they go down the backstretch right there. And it looks like Stinson's going to have the slight advantage, going to move Gambrell up the track a little bit. And it's a drag race there, right to there. And it looks like they're still side by side. So this is not settled yet, but Stinson with the advantage. And Gambrell looks like he had to pedal it and get out of it. Stinson's going to take the lead. Jay Stinson, your new race leader as we come on to lap traffic.
It's Kevin Kyle going a lap down right there. I think that car may have some damage from the incident with Louis and David Brenner, and now is falling backwards in a hurry. We're looking actually right in front of them is actually Dalton Connor and Steve Lewis. Those guys with some damage here as well. So Steve Lewis going from leading the race to damage and now about to go a lap down.
Oh, wow. Steve Lewis really off the pace there. You see the difference in the speed. Can't navigate the corners as well as your race leaders. And Steve Lewis is in a hornet's nest right now as you see Gambrell trying to hold on a second, giving way to Stinson. Stinson's starting to drive away.
Yep. Stinson is just putting down lap times way better than everybody except for Zach Stevens right now. As Zach Stevens still a little bit faster, but that might have had to do with the lap traffic there that last time. This time around, yeah, I think the lap traffic might be having an effect here. It's helping Stevens catch back up to Stinson a little bit. But now clean track, and we'll see what the true pace is between the two of them.
Absolutely. Zach Stevens passes Gambrell, takes second place, and it looks like a little bit of patience pays off for that 98 machine. You know, he looks like he probably managed his tires, managed his pace, and now as we're 67 laps into the run, clearly putting down incredible lap times now, lap 68 of 200 on Friday Night Thunder. And Justin Parham there taking a look at Gambrell's. Gambrell's starting to take the slide to the back, so hard charging early, now paying the price with those tires having a little bit of wear on them. And you see Vulpes there trying to take a peek as well. Great battle right here for fourth.
Like the 46 going to be on the bottom this time, 13 going to get around the outside. and that's going to move Parham to third, Volpus to fourth, Gambrel back to fifth. Behind them, it's a bit of a gap back to the next couple guys, being Ken Redinger in sixth, and you can see Fritz right behind him in seventh. Then Bolander about a second behind. Actually, no, he's pretty close to them too. Bolander's about a second behind them in eighth. Then Matt Novella up to ninth after starting in the back, along with Tommy Fox. Those two now both into the top 10 here at this point. Solidly on the lead lap, but would need a caution to get back into this race with Jay Stinson and Zach Stevens laying down the law right now with these lap times.
Yeah, those two have driven off a clear advantage, nearly 2.5 seconds to third with the 99 of Parham sitting there. But I noticed a couple laps ago, Volpus there using that high arc to get around Gambrel, so I think he opened up the notebook, saw what the leaders were doing, and you know, took a page out of their playbook. So Volpus very smart about that. As you see him getting a little bit closer to Parham, see if they can chisel away out at that lead. You know, pit stops will be coming roughly halfway, give or take 10 laps. So it'll be very curious to see when these 2 or 4 decide to pit relative to the leaders. See if they can do that classic undercut, as we've been green since the start of the race.
Yeah, green, we're 75 laps in, and Jay Stinson now has control of the race here at this point of it. 3 lead changes at this point, but Jay Stinson leading a decent amount of laps already up to 15. I'm sure if he continues his pace, he'll be the most laps led tonight. Looking further back through the field, it looks like pretty much all the battles have started to settle down. Bolander, though, trying to close in on Fritz right now here. Look at this. They got a couple lap cars involved with it as well. The battle for sixth heating up.
And use them as a pick. You saw Stinson pass Andrew Davis. Top 10 cars only remain on the lead lap, as you see the slow attrition from that rapid pace of our leaders start to catch the back of the field and the middle of the field.
Yeah, right now a lot of different paces going on. 10 cars now left on the lead lap. Andrew Davis just won a lap down here recently, and now the battle for sixth is on. These guys are half a lap down though at this point, 8 seconds behind the leader. Redinger falling off them actually now, as you see Bolander. It looks like he's going to get the pass done on Fritz. Redinger now under attack from Novella for 8th place.
Absolutely. Hot battles at the back of the top 10 right there. Matt Novella got a great run there. Going to look inside the 24. Going to try to set himself up for the pass. Great battle for 8th right now. Novella by a nose. Redinger's going to battle back on the outside. And Novella's not going to give it up that easily. He's going to push the issue there, wrapping the bottom. Redinger on the high side by side again. These two are putting on a great display, as you see the 24 trying to battle back. Novella not going to slide up there, too close for comfort, but the 56 holding on, and he's going to be able to complete the pass right here.
Yep, that's going to get it done for 8th place as they get around lap traffic here. Kevin Kyle a lap down. Brenner trying to get back through with his car fixed up. He's in 15th, 3 laps down right now. Steve Lewis 14th, 2 down. So a lot of guys on a lot of different laps, but Tommy Fox now is going to get into this picture for this battle for 9th.
Yeah, the 00 says, hey, man, I want to get on this action. Tommy Fox quietly and methodically having a great top 10 effort after starting at the back, not putting down a qualifying time. Looking like he's a little bit faster than the 24. We'll see if he can set up a move to make a pass here shortly. Redinger dips at those left sides below the yellow line there. You got to be careful. That apron will swallow you whole at Bristol.
Yeah, right now, though, Tommy Fox doing a good job of just controlling his car. The thing I'm concerned with is these guys are getting awfully close to now going a lap down themselves. Pretty much nobody on the pace of your race leaders, first and second place. Jay Stinson over a 1/10 to 2 to 3 tenths faster per lap than everybody else in the field.
Yeah, and clearly you can see Jay pulled away from Zach Stevens there. You saw Stevens within a few car lengths of the 98. Now he's over a second and a half behind and steadily losing pace. But we'll see what happens with a little bit of this oncoming traffic here with these lap cars. You see Dalton Connor there in the picture. Now going to go another lap down. The 98 just seems to be on rails at the moment. Nothing he can't do. The 98 looking very racy tonight here as we're getting close to halfway.
Yeah, right now, pretty much Stinson is in set sail mode, and now Gambrel getting close to being under attack from the car behind him of Novella, as Novella got around Fritz here recently. So Novella coming through the field, and then Redinger and Tommy Fox still battling for ninth.
Yeah, Matt Novella having a great drive right now, moving up through the field. Big mover at the moment, threatening in the fringe of that top 5 at the moment. You see Matt making a charge, trying to inch closer to Andrew Bolander in the 18 there. Matt Novella in the Monster Energy 56, just nice and smooth there. Look at a great run on corner exit there. He's reeling that 18 in.
Yeah, these guys, though, almost 3/4 of a lap down now. Ken Redinger and Tommy Fox, their battle actually, as you see Novella setting up the move here, they're about to go a lap down right now. Actually, we'll go back over to that because that's getting pretty chaotic.
Absolutely. So you see Tommy Fox there. He's about to be a lap down. Ken Redinger there as well. Stinson is coming. These guys are nearly powerless to do anything. You see the 98 wrap the top. They're going to get the advantage on Fox. We'll see if the 00 can battle back. And wow, it's getting pretty dicey there. You see Redinger kind of blocking. They've got a pick on the leader there. These guys do not want to go a lap down this early in the race. But you see the 98 going to be able to do the up and under the 24, get by Redinger, put him a lap down in pursuit of that 00 next.
Yeah, at the same time, Novella just moved up to 5th, and now Zach Stevens getting through this lap traffic almost had a chance at Jay Stinson, but Jay Stinson's starting to get away again here as now the 47's got to get around the 24, just as the 98 battles with the 00, I believe, again.
Yeah, that 47 needs the traffic to be on his side if he's going to catch the 98. The 98 timing the moves, not getting held back as much as the 47 would like to try to tighten that gap. You know, you want to try to get as close as you can before these guys decide to pit. You don't want to keep bleeding time, but you see the 18 get around the 46. The 46 slowly falling, paying the price for having that fast pace early in the run. Now the back end of the run, that car is definitely fallen off. You see the 48 of Fritz taking a look inside.
Hey, and the 46 hits the wall there, gets up into the dirty stuff, and will lose another spot. And now he's close to going a lap down. As you can see, Tommy Fox still fighting to stay on the lead lap as Andrew Davis comes down pit road, it looks like.
Yeah, the 00 doing a great job trying to stay on the lead lap. The 33 going to go in, and he's going to be the first of your takers there. He can make it the rest of the way as we approach halfway on Friday Night Thunder from Thunder Valley.
Yep, there goes Gambrel down pit road. He was about to get lapped, so it's a strategical decision for him to go in. Ken Redinger did just get lapped a few laps ago. He goes in here at the same time.
Yeah, those guys are going to feel like they're just on steroids when they exit the pit. Those fresh tires are going to make quite the difference.
Yeah, Steve Lewis on freshies already. He had some trouble on pit road. He's 4 down. There you can see now Novella Fritz coming down pit road here as well.
Yeah, Fritz in that 48 low is going to come in as you see Gambrel exit. Joe Volpe is coming in for service as well. So it started a cascade, but Jay Stinson and Zach Stevens and Justin Parham, your top 4, top 5 actually still staying out.
Yeah, right now Tommy Fox is 5th, but he's now a lap down. A caution right now actually wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for him. It actually helped him out a lot because he get the lucky dog and be 5th place on the lead lap. Everybody else, I believe, would be 2 down. Once we see Volpes come out of the pits, yeah. Oh, the 00.
Contact. We saw contact, the 00 and the 24, but we're still going green. That was a hell of a shot right there. The 00 just on the older tires, the 24 on the newer tires. You see Tommy Fox immediately coming down pit road.
Yeah, I think that car is pretty much destroyed. Not what Tommy Fox needed right there at all. Tough break for him. He was having a good run once again, and to have something like that happen, absolutely ruin it, is going to be very disappointing to see once again.
Yeah, Lady Luck not on his side tonight. That's a shame. That 00 was doing all the things you need to do. Just run consistently, start, finish races, stay out of trouble, and unfortunately reached out and grabbed him there. So we'll see what happens when he gets out, but not what he was wanting, as we are 106 of 200 here at Bristol on Friday Night Thunder.
Yep, right now the leaders are still out there. Stinson, Stevens, Parr, and Bolander. These guys can go about another 4 or 5 laps before they need to pit. Now the first guy that's a lap down is actually 2 laps down, and that's Vulpes right now in 5th. He's the first guy that's come down pit road and come back out to this point.
So we'll see if what that does when our leaders do decide to pit. Vulpes is going to have a few more laps on those tires, going to try to make up what time he can now. But then the flip side of it, if this does stay green, once these guys pit and put some laps on, we'll see if they can tire the tide. As you see Bolander coming in for service as well, the 18 in the pits.
Yep, Bolander now servicing his car. He is, of course, a lap down, so he's taking advantage of it. Hopefully going to try and get his way back to on the lead lap when this all cycles. Some of these guys I think will get back there, but now at this point, now 4th place is the first car out of pit road, and he's 2 laps down still. So pretty wild. Stinson down pit road.
Yep, race leader Jay Stinson down pit road.
Oh!
Zach Stevens will inherit the lead. Vulpes with an issue there. Uh-oh, looks like he dipped it on the apron, made contact there, and he hits the outside wall. Joe Vulpes with a serious problem here on lap 111. Oh my goodness, the 13. Big implications. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I think the 13 car is going to have to do a tow and a fast repair. No caution here, though, so not a good break for him. Stinson's still on pit road getting his service. Stevens, Parham stay out maybe on the off chance there is a caution.
Yeah, big issues there. That's going to affect the points for Vulpes. Unfortunate series of events there. He's going to bleed some laps, so you hate to see that when these guys are racing and competing at a high level. Zach Stevens still your race leader. Justin Parham still out there in 2nd. These are the last 2 yet to pit. Let's see how much longer they can stay out there. They're really running the tank dry.
Yeah, it looks like Stevens slowing down. He's going to come this time, as it looks like no cautions. So Stevens going to duck down this time, going to have a little bit fresher tires than Stinson when everything cycles out. And Justin Parham going to stay out and lead a lap.
Justin Parham going to get credit for a lap led tonight. Every point matters. Every point counts. He hits the wall. Ooh, the 99 got a little squirrely there. He may want to consider entering the pits. That was some serious contact.
Parham is going to stay out for at least another lap here. He does have the entire field a lap down at this point, so a caution right now would play out into his favor immensely.
Yeah, the 99 playing with house money right now. And doing an incredible job there. He's going to stay out, looks like another lap, so Parham's going to lead a couple laps here and going to go the full run, the full fuel load. The 99 here doing a really good job of managing his equipment to make that first stint really last, but you see him dive right down. He's coming.
Going to come this time. That's going to turn it back over to Jay Stinson when it's all said and done, who has about a 1.5 second lead on Zach Stevens.
That's pretty incredible there. Stinson able to get back on the lead lap, and you see the telemetry on the tower, all these cars back on the lead lap, but look at the time differentials. It's pretty incredible. Stinson really built quite the lead. As you see Zach Stevens, he's going to be the next closest, a 1.5 seconds back. Was able to manage that gap to Stinson. Nothing gained, nothing lost. But it's been these two out ahead for an incredible amount of laps. Stinson just driving away at this point.
Yeah, so the reason why there's so many back on the lead lap here is because Stevens and Stinson stayed out for so long. So Gambrell in 3rd, even though he's closer than he was, 8 seconds back, he pitted 12 laps prior to Jay Stinson. Novella pitted a lap after Gambrell, and Matthew Fritz on the same lap. Redinger was on the same lap as Gambrell, so all these guys pitted really late. The first guy that actually pitted later than Stinson or Stevens, the last guy to pit was Parham. He's still on the lead lap in 7th. Right now it's playing out in Stinson's favor. However, the
Yeah.
little bit fresher tires has Stevens closing in right now. We'll see how that plays out as the run goes on.
Yeah, from third on back, they have some laps on those tires, so this is going to come back around, and once Stinson and Stevens get back into that groove, I just feel like they're going to start on that march again and increase the gap like we saw before the pit cycle. And another thing, you know, it's such a lovely track, such a lovely evening. I love if we could just take a tour of the sights and sounds of the last great Coliseum. What about a crank it up? And we're back from a nice crank it out. Crank it out. We're going to crank it out and crank it up here at Thunder Valley. We're doing all the things. Short track racing. And look what we have here. Zach Stevens inching closer. It's put more pressure on the 98. We haven't seen the 98 face much adversity once he took the lead. The 47 is looking to challenge here. Lap 130 of 200 from Bristol Motor Speedway. Just a little race recap for you. There have been 6 lead changes. Stinson has led the most laps up to this point. We saw Eric Gambrill lead a bunch early, and he has since faded. But Stinson has come to life as the sun has gone down at Bristol, and that 98 looks really fast. That 47 is going to have his hands full trying to challenge him.
Yep, right now, Andrew Bolander's pretty close to these race leaders, about to go a lap down once again. He's in 8th. Steve Lewis, you see him, he's in 12th, 2 down, about to go 3 down right here after his early success in this race. Only 8 cars on the lead lap. Nobody's 1 lap down, so even a lucky dog wouldn't get anybody back on the lead lap right now.
So there you have it. There, it's lead lap or multiple laps down at Bristol. It's just one of those nightmarish scenarios. Bristol can do that. Short tracks in general can do that. But this place can be your best friend, or it could be your worst nightmare.
Right now, it's the worst nightmare for a few of those guys in the back. But it's been the best friend of these two up front. Jay Stinson, Zach Stevens battling hard here. 66 to go, and now you see Novella falling back in a hurry. He's about to go a lap down.
Yeah, 8th place in jeopardy of going a
A lot
lap
of guys
down.
about to go a lap down. 4th on back, actually,
Yeah.
right in front of the leaders.
This is the gaggle of cars that was right behind the lead pack. Look at Stinson there trying to navigate his way through this mess. It only gives the 47 an opportunity here to try to challenge the 98 if Stinson makes the wrong move negotiating all of this. You know these guys don't want to go a lead lap down on the lead lap to 1 lap down. They're going to try to fight and make it difficult for the 98. As you see him side by side with Gambrill, you see 18 of Bolander trying to get out of Dodge, wrapping that high line, and further ahead Fritz as well. But the 98, he's hard charging right now. The 47 is trying to follow behind and look for that opportunity.
Yeah, you see Ken Redinger now holding up this bottom lane. Fritz backing up towards Gambrill. They're all going to go a lap down right here.
Look at Stinson get all 3 of them in one straight. That's incredible. Now he can focus his interest on the 18 next. The 47 able to get by, but he lost a little bit of time there.
And just like that, now there's only 4 cars on the lead lap. And now a lucky dog would get somebody back on the lead lap.
So there, in just a couple short laps, you see the big swing go right there. You saw those cars on the lead lap. Now it's just the top 4 with 4th place in jeopardy. But look at the 47 there making a move, taking a look.
almost able to get a pass done there. Not able to make it happen though. Still trying to bide his time, trying to find the best way to make this move. Maybe you want to wait and use Bolander as a pick if possible.
I think he was letting the 98 know he was there. He said, hey, bud, yeah, let's see how you approach this 18. I'm right here knocking on your back door.
Yeah, these guys still battling for the lead. The battle is now on for the Lucky Dog spot, which right now is held by Gambrel over Novella and Fritz. Redinger falling way off the pace, fell way behind these guys. And now David Brenner going to have to pit for a second time here. Remember, he had to pit early and use his fast repair, so this has him way off sequence.
A way off sequence for the
Redinger
22.
coming down pit road.
Ken Redinger, your series leader. The big implications here, Joe, these guys here can take advantage and try to move up in the points. Unfortunately, Vulpes 5 laps down, unable to, but this could be big for Gambrel to chip away and move up a few points.
Yeah, we'll see how it plays out for him, though. He is a lap down at this point, but a top 5, so if it goes green, it'll work out in his favor. Bolander doing his best right now to stay on the lead lap. Zach Stevens trying to find his way around the 98. An absolute mess here between first, second, and fourth, as weird as that sounds.
Quite in order, yeah, reshuffling of the deck, as it were. The 47 trying to find a way to set up that move. He's looking, you can see him approaching different lines. You see the 98 getting a little impatient with the 18, trying to figure out a way around him. But we know Bolander is top-level talent. He's not going to let you have it that easily.
No, he's not, because Bolander wants to stay on that lead lap for as long as possible. Parham only 2.5 seconds up the road. I think Bolander's concerned that if he gets left, they're going to go up and get Parham too.
Absolutely there. Bolander struggling, trying to fight and battle, but he's opened the door to the 98. The 98 has the position. Can the 18 respond on the outside? The 47 in second place, trying to get by that 18 as well. That 18 is not going to be a pick. It looks like he's going to be able to clear him as well. Bolander a lap down. The battle for the lead still stays intensified as the 47 is trying to find a way to get by that 98.
Yeah, this right now is the battle for the race pretty much, as everybody else is out of contention. No battle for the Lucky Dog anymore now with the 18 right behind these race leaders. Gambrel and Novella battling for 5th, but with Fritz, but they're just pretty much single file, hoping that there isn't a caution until they catch the 18 at this point.
3/4 of the way through, 152 of 200 here at Thunder Valley. Jay Stinson putting on a full display here, dominating at Bristol.
Yeah, Zach Stevens, though, hot on his trail, has been all race. 48 to go. Tires are going to start coming into question between these two. Speaking of tires, here comes the fresh tires of Ken Redinger in the 24 up the inside of Zach Stevens. That's going to slow his progress here for a minute.
Redinger in 10th, but multiple laps down after having to go to the pits, get some fresh tires. Not the night he was hoping for, but trying to salvage what he can. Those fresh tires should give him an advantage to get around, but Kevin Kyle, the lap car in the way, and not sure where to go there with the leaders and the fast car on the rubber. Redinger says, come on, man, I got the freshies, let's go!
No!
Oh, no, the leader, the big wreck, oh my goodness, Stinson involved, oh my goodness, oh, what just happened there? He's without a nose, that surely has to bring out the yellow. We're under caution at Bristol. Old Yeller has struck again, the race leader involved, oh my goodness.
Oh my goodness, we saw it right there, the 29 was slowing up, I think he was on older tires, Redinger was on fresh tires, and pretty much wanted to go as fast as possible. Ends up with the 29 backwards, the 98 destroyed. Your race leader, the guy that's dominated the race, now in trouble.
Well, that's the last thing that you want to see. You know, you had a great 1-2 battle right there with Stinson leading the charge. You had a lap traffic with the 29 on slightly older tires. And then you saw the 24 Redinger on the fresher tires, and it was irresistible force, immovable object. Well, guess what? That irresistible force moved that object, and it brings out our first caution of the night here on Friday Night Thunder.
Stevens fakes, doesn't pit that time. Very interesting because there's only 3 cars on the lead lap. Parham comes to pit. Stinson comes to pit. Gambrel is going to be 4th and get the lucky dog. Fritz trying to stay out, hope for a wave around. Same with Bolander. But then everybody else came down the pit. I saw Novella got an unsafe pit entry. We'll see how that circles out for him. As now Zach Stevens still staying out on the track, so nobody gonna get a wave around if he stays out here.
A very curious strategy, Joe. You can't take those
hold
tires
hold
home
up,
with
wait
you.
a minute.
Okay, I was about to say you can't bring those tires home with you.
This is
Zach
gonna change
Stevens
everything
there.
right here. So now
He's
with Stevens pitting, you're gonna see the 46 come down as well because he's the lucky dog. Now we're gonna have a wave around situation. It's gonna be very weird what's about to happen. So Justin Parham is gonna take the race lead. So now this puts Fritz into a wave around spot along with Bolander, who actually, and then Novella would be in it because he even though he pitted, he came out in front of your race leader Parham, but his unsafe pit entry is going to put him out of contention for the wave around. Andrew Davis pitted here on 155. He's going to get the wave around here. You see Parham trying to go around these guys. It's not going to tell him to, though. The leader's going to have to stay behind all these guys. So Volbus and Davis pitted, but they're going to get the wave around because they came out in front of the leader, along with the guys that did stay out altogether. Looks like Steve Lewis may have missed the memo on who gets a wave around and who doesn't. He's creeping his way forward. Looks like Dalton Connor as well. I think these guys may be a little bit confused. Everybody else going around for their wave around. Steve Lewis is going to go places. Look out!
Uh-oh, I don't
Where
think
you going,
that's in his...
Steve? Steve!
I don't think that's in his
No!
best interest. Oh,
No!
boy. Oh, no.
Steve, why did you have to go?
That's going to really hurt him. I think that's going to bring out a black flag unless he stops immediately and lets these cars go. Steve Lewis makes an unforced error. Pace car is off. Black flag will be waved and shown to Lewis. Parham shot out of that cannon. We're back in action. We're green from Bristol. Justin Parham in the 99. You saw him lead a couple laps earlier during that pit sequence. Going to inherit the lead here after caution, but look who's nipping on his heels. Jay Stinson with a repaired car and fresh tires there. J-Daddy on the prowl. Zach Stevens with the fresh stuff as well. These guys are coming for the 99, and these two have unfinished business.
Yeah, so this actually is just made everything chaotic. So now these 3 pretty much are the only ones that have a chance if there's no more cautions. And then you got Gambrel, who got freshies because he was the lucky dog. And then after that, then you got your wave rounds of Fritz and Bolander. And then Novella doesn't get the wave around, so he's the first car a lap down currently. Andrew Davis got back to a lap down with the wave around. And he also got the pit. So Novella, Davis on freshies. They're both a lap down, though, so they're battling heads up. Right now, though, Zach Stevens, these guys are trading fastest laps here. The top 3 pretty much have this under control as long as there's no more cautions.
An absolute mess of a caution period there with who got the wave around, who didn't, positions. But we can tell you that the top 3 here are battling for the lead. Gambrel a couple seconds back on the freshies, but the action's here at the front. Justin Parham leading the charge. I think Jay is just laying back, let the car come to him like we saw on the first run. The second half of that long green flag run, that 98 really came to life. We'll see what happens with the 47. The 47 has shown speed late here, letting the 98 know he is here and ready to make a move. So we're going to monitor these top 3 here as we go. Lap 168 of 200.
Yeah, laps winding down fast now. With how fast laps go around here, there's only about 8 minutes of this race left there, see, if there's no cautions. So you got to make your moves fast and furious.
Yeah, there's really no time to wait around. The time to go is now. You can't ponder and think. You have to react. You have to go. You have to be proactive. The 99 has shown he can get it done. Justin Parham, no stranger to the front. The 98 of Stinson looking to move up that points ladder and trying to get that dub. He's going to slowly inch on the 99, make it interesting here. And the 47 of Stevens, we've seen a lot of speed out of him, so we'll see if he can make it interesting as well. But check out the 98 and the 99 at the moment.
Steve Lewis did serve that black flag, by the way. He's now 8 laps down, the last car left in the race.
Steve Lewis with just an incredible series of events there. Unforced error, that one hurts.
Speaking of unforced errors, right now that's what Jay Stinson's trying to force Justin Parham into. 28 laps left. These laps clicking off faster and faster. Need to set up this move sooner rather than later if you're Jay Stinson.
Yeah, top 2 driving away from third at the moment. Parham knows that Stinson has the speed. Parham knows that Stinson has been the dominant car tonight. The 99 finding a way to will himself to victory lane here. He's got a lot of work to do if he's going to make it happen. 27 to go from Bristol.
Yep, Zach Stevens trying his best to hold on in third, but just doesn't seem to have the pace that these front 2 have at the moment. I think he's going to need them to get side by side and battling hard for him to get back into it. And Jay Stinson right now just biding his time, hoping that Justin Parham's worn out those tires. 25 to go.
Yeah, these two here, they've found another gear. They've really taken off. You see these guys putting their talents on full display here. The short track prowess here. They just seem to navigate the right line at Bristol. They're doing a great job. Parham opening up a little bit of an advantage there. I think Stinson's backing it off a little bit, maybe letting Justin drive the wheels off of that car, maybe getting in his head a little bit at the moment. But you can't wait too long.
Yeah, right now a 10th faster that last time around for Parham. That time he was 2 100ths faster. Right now, consistently, the 99 is the fastest car on the track, but is he peaking too soon?
It's only time will tell. We saw Gambrill do that on the initial run of the race. He was super fast for roughly 60 laps or so, and then that 98 just came out of nowhere, and the 98 then proceeded to drive away. So Justin there maybe noticed that, maybe remembers knowing about that. We'll have to find out as we keep going here. You know, you got to be able to hit the marks and get the consistency here as you see him going around Bolander there. That's just one more car. Maybe you can use him as a pick. You see Stinson kind of slowed a little bit, but able to get by that 18.
I know you guys see a lot of guys a lap down. Looking at the interval, this is actually the closest battle for position on the racetrack currently, is your battle for the lead here.
So you're not missing any of the action because this is where the action's at. 1 and 2 going toe-to-toe, under 20 laps to go here from Bristol. The 98 just staying, stalking that 99. Justin Parham really would love to take home the dub tonight, but Stinson, we'll see how hungry he is. As you saw, had the class of the field. He's inching a little bit closer now. He got a little bit better run there, so he's maybe turning up the pressure a little bit. He's inching closer, Joe.
Yes, he is. He's getting very close here as the laps continue to tick down, almost to the rear bumper here. Got about 4 minutes of racing left. That's about the equivalent of 8 laps when you go to someplace like Vegas. That's 16 laps here. Just gives you a bit of a difference in how many laps to time is really left in this race. 16 may seem like a lot, but it truly isn't because of how fast these laps click off.
Yeah, you see the 98 putting the pressure on there, just 2 car lengths back of the 99, just slowly inching his way, and 15 at the line from Bristol. We're getting closer. The pay window is open, so now's the time. The 98 is looking at the 99, getting ever so close, Joe. He's coming.
Yeah, right now this is still the best battle on the track, the only battle on the track, really. Volpus got around Connor for 12th. And now Fritz about to go a lap down as he pulls out of the way, lets these two duke it out for the race lead and potential win.
Classy move by Matthew Fritz, getting out of the way, does not want to be a factor in this battle for the lead, letting these Titans go at it here. 13 to go from Bristol. Jay Stinson just can't seem to get closer than 2 car lengths here. I just don't know if he's just patiently waiting to set up that move, but he's getting closer to the end. Gonna have to figure this out real soon. The 99 staying in control.
Identical laps the last time around for both first and second. 1575 from each of them. So these guys running identical laps at this point.
So that tells me Stinson has the advantage with the tires there. You see him inching a little bit closer now, getting within the car length there. He's in the mirror of the 99. The 99 might be mirror watching. 10 to go from Bristol.
Yep, right now these guys just watching these lap times, they pretty much are the two fastest cars on the track here at this point. Gambrill was a little bit faster than that last lap, but very marginal, and he's 4 seconds back.
Stinson taking a peek there, letting the 99 know he is there. The 98 of Stinson taking a look, driving a lane off the 99. Looking to try to set up that move on the inside, maybe let 99 think about it a little bit. Stinson is getting closer, putting on a little bit more pressure with 8 to go. Going to dive it down as you see the 99 arcing it up high. Get that run on the top there, but the 98 is staying closer and closer.
Laps really starting to tick off, though. Down to 7 to go. Jay Stinson, the urgency's got to be very high.
Oh,
the 99 gets the wall. That might be the mistake he needed.
Oh, that's going to be the move right there. The bobble, the wall, the contact, the loss of pace. Jay Stinson back to the lead. It's incredible here. Going to be 6 to go at the line.
We were just talking about how Jay Stinson, the pressure is on him to make the move. He transferred all that pressure to Justin Parham, forced the unforced error right there. And now, coming to 5 to go, Jay Stinson setting sail once again here at Bristol.
Just needed that little bit of a bobble there, the stroke of luck, the pressure, the skill. The 98 had the fastest car most of the race. It looked like he was the class of the field until the caution came out. Now reasserting himself, taking the lead with 4 to go.
Yeah, right now, 4 to go. That's a minute around this racetrack. No cautions, and this thing's going to be over before you know it.
Yeah, he just has to hit his marks and not hit the wall like we saw the 99 just do to the battle for the lead. It was exciting to watch there. You saw the pressure. You saw the 98 just waiting, licking his chops, and he was able to put it down. The 98 of Jay Stinson driving away.
Coming to 2 to go. Pretty much clear sailing from here. Jay Stinson's pulled away from the 99, pulled away from the 47. 4 cars on the lead lap. 1.5 laps away from the first one of the season for Jay Stinson.
Yeah, something that he's probably been looking forward to as we come to the line. White flag from Bristol. So 98, Jay Stinson there, hungry for that win. Put it together here. Brought a dominant car. Put together a hell of a race. A little bit of a mishap with that caution, but it's not going to make any of a difference because Jay Stinson, your winner tonight on Friday Night Thunder from Thunder Valley at Bristol.
Pulls it out. What a race from the 98 of Jay Stinson. First race in the new car number, and he's 1 for 1 in it.
Yeah, that sounds like a pretty good winning ratio to me, Joe. We saw the 98 have incredible pace once that car came to life. It looked like he really took care of his equipment and managed the car, and it really paid dividends for him as he's going to do those donuts all over that concrete. What a performance from Stinson tonight.
What a dub. You're absolutely right. What a dub from Jay Stinson right here. And look at him. Here he comes on the front stretch doing them burnouts.
Yeah, I think that's a signature win as you see a lot of his racing buddies like Fritz there giving him the congratulations. So these guys put a lot of work in, day out on the sim, and you see it pay off with that masterclass here at Bristol tonight.
Yeah, look at all these laps led for him there. See, 92 of them.
Nearly half of the race led, and it really showed because once he got out there, he started driving away. Big credit to the 47 of Zach Stevens tonight, who didn't make it easy on the 98 as he was applying the pressure and stalking him for multiple laps through multiple runs. And unfortunate for the 99 of Justin Parham, who was out in front there for a while there. A little bobble contact with the wall, and that put this race in the hands of the 98. Jay Stinson going to take home the victory tonight. Justin Parham finishes second. Zach Stevens rounds out your podium. Eric Gambrill there. Curious case of Eric Gambrill. Led laps early, had a strong car early in the race. Unfortunately faded and wasn't able to recapture the magic. Finishes fourth. Matthew Fritz, your first car lead lap, off the lead lap, down a lap there in fifth. And Matt Novella starting from essentially the back, brings it home in sixth. So a great run for Matt. Andrew Bolander, a solid top 10. Not the result he was looking for, but definitely a strong finish. Andrew Davis needing these top 10s and top 5s there to try to get into the chase. Got eighth tonight. And your points leader, Kenneth Redinger, takes a little bit of a hit tonight, but able to recover it to ninth. And Kevin Kyle making the guest appearance rounds out the top 10. Good run for KK.
Yeah, a lot of these guys had trouble here, especially Kevin Kyle. We saw him backwards there at one point in the race, so a lot of trouble from these guys all around here from pretty much ninth on back. 11th place David Brenner, we saw him have to make an extra pit stop in this race due to the early incident that he had, finishes 3 laps down. Same with Joe Volpus with his incident, had to make an extra pit stop, ends up 4 down. Dalton Connor with a bunch of damage ended up 4 down as well in 13th. Steve Lewis ended up with damage, was involved in wrecks, and then did the unthinkable and passed the pace car when he shouldn't have, and lost himself an additional 4 or 5 laps, ends up 8 down in 14th. Tommy Fox, we saw the race ender for him there pretty much at halfway, ends up 15th after running in the top 5 for the first time all night. John Beverly retired early from the race with his, just not feeling so great there. Ends up 16th, 164 down, but was able to outlast Joe Amato, who had a really rough finish to his day after being in the top 5 there, top 3 actually, for those majority of those 25 laps. So a lot of moves going to happen in the points here there, C. John Beverly doing the starting park is going to actually pay him a lot of dividends here as it moves him pretty solidly on that cut line.
Absolutely, but I think we have somebody waiting for us. I think we could look at those points here in a moment. I think we have somebody that we can talk to at the moment.
Hmm. Let's get a gander over here.
Absolutely. So, in a wonderful turn of events, I believe we have a special guest tonight. Is that our race winner, Joe?
I believe it is. Jay Stinson, you got a copy.
Hey guys, what are you guys up to tonight?
Hey, we're just talking about a little racing, Jay. How are you? Congratulations there. The champion of Thunder Valley, your race winner tonight, Jay Stinson. Welcome to the booth, sir.
Hey, I appreciate it, guys. Appreciate it very much. It was a long week, a long interesting race there at Bristol. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, so tell us your thoughts there. You know, we saw you have a pretty solid qualifying effort, top 10, of course. And then, Gambrill got out there early, led some laps early. And then we saw this 98 machine just all of a sudden come to life and just rifle through the field and then drive away. What you had under the hood of that thing tonight?
I have to thank my teammates and Matt. He supplies my cars and motors, so I don't know what he put under there, but it was real fast tonight. Felt real good.
Yeah, so tell us about the strategy tonight. What were you looking to do tonight to get the best finish possible? What was the mindset going into Bristol?
I think we all just kind of got together and said, "Hey, let's save our tires at the beginning, and then kind of see how it plays out with who takes off, who doesn't, and let that first run kind of come to us and see where the tires are on that pit stop." Was kind of my plan. I noticed a couple of guys took off at the beginning, and then you can see them coming back to us a little bit. I think Matt got the apron a little bit there and was allowing me to get by and Parm get by. And then it got a little racy around 65, lap 65 or something like that. Then me and Zach decided it was time to go. Be honest with you, Zach is extremely fast here, always has been. Every race I've ever been with him in this track, he's kind of the pace setter. So I was kind of leaning on him when he went. I was going to try to go. Um, I think I got the lead by him picking the wrong line, and I ended up picking right and got out in front. And then I was able to just kind of keep pace and see what it would do coming to that first pit stop. So I thought I may when I got out. I thought, well, maybe I'm overshooting my shot here. I'm burning them off. I'm getting out too far in front. I'm gonna get real back in, but it just kept pace and kept pace and kept going. So it was pretty fun.
Yeah, so you mentioned the 47 of Zach Stevens there,
Mhm.
and his incredible pace. He was trying to apply a little pressure there to you, and he just wasn't able to keep up with you. I think that's just a testament to the clean air and your ability to just manage your gap, maintain the tires there. Incredible battle. And then we saw there towards the end with Parham, you were stalking Justin there a little bit. He has a little bobble with the wall, and that's all you needed to bring it home.
Yeah, it was. Before the caution there, I think it'd have been interesting to see what the end would have been if me and Zach could have just ran it out without any of the caution happening. He may have been saving enough to where he would be a little bit faster and got that win. Being caught up in the caution, that's a mixed bag. It's like I didn't want to be involved in it, but maybe it helped me at the end to put freshies on it and kind of give myself some space. So wasn't extremely happy, but didn't really know how to feel about the caution. And we lined it back up, and Parm got a great jump. And you're right. I think it was the clean air. I couldn't do anything with him for the first, I don't know, 20 laps or so. And I thought I was reeling him in, and then I'd lose some, and I'd reel him back in, and I'd lose some, and then we got to about, I don't know, 10 to go, and I just decided it was time to do whatever I could to try to get as close as I could. And he got up in the marble a little bit, and I think where nobody had been up that high, it kind of put him in the wall a little bit, gave him a little push. So lucky for me. I don't know if I'd have been able to get around him without that. It'd have been fun and close to see at the end.
Yeah, it was definitely exciting to watch the battle unfold before our eyes. I'm going to turn things over to Joe. I know he's got a few more questions for you, and we'll take a deeper dive.
So, so looking there at the end, right? It was a couple laps left. I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 to go. When Parham got up in the marbles, if it came down to it there at the end, were you ready to do the old Bristol bump and run on him if you needed to get that lead back there? If he didn't make that same mistake in the closing laps.
No, I probably wouldn't have, to be honest with you. Justin's been a friend of mine for probably 4 years. We've run a lot of races. I believe it my heart he wouldn't do it to me. I was going to do it as clean as absolute possible. And if it didn't happen, it didn't happen. So no, I probably wouldn't have done it. I'd have wanted to, real bad, but I probably would not have done it. He would have raced me clean in the same situation. So a lot of respect between the two of us. So I would have kept that relationship going in the right direction.
Always love hearing about the respect, especially when it comes to tracks like this. Tonight we actually saw you do something a little bit different than mostly everybody else, except for Zach Stevens, who you said about him being the pace setter. It looked like you were running a higher lane than pretty much everybody else in the race, and you made it work so well that everybody that thought the bottom was the place to be was actually the absolute opposite. It seemed like you wanted to be higher up in the race. Was that part of your strategy going into the race that you knew running a bit more of a diamond line was the way to get it done, or is that something that you just learned as the track evolved throughout the night?
So I had another friend of mine teach me how to get around this place. I live in Bristol, so I wanted to be good here. So I had a buddy that's really good here, and it was in the next gen car, so it runs a little bit different. And I, I honestly didn't know if it would work in this car. And then Zach, watching him in the race, you could see him starting to kind of go up a little bit and then diamond it down. It looks like he was like running in front of Matt, like cutting his nose off, but he wasn't close enough to actually do that. So I started looking. I was like, well, maybe it does work here. So I'd have to give credit to Zach to showing me that hey, it probably does work, and because that's what I do in the next gen. As we've had a couple of races there, and I finished pretty good at those races in that car. So I did that line. Drove the same line I do in the next gen this car, and it just seemed to hook up and be really fast.
So of course, looking at the sponsorship on your car, definitely a home racetrack here for you tonight. Is it special to get that big dub here tonight at a home track?
Yeah, it means a lot. Like it's a place that I've been to races many times. Wanting to win here is always on my bucket list and my list every time it's on a schedule that I'm racing in. So it was really it was really bittersweet to go ahead and get it tonight in that fashion. I was so focused and concentrated on racing. It wasn't until the coming to the caution hour we realized that there's like 4 or 5 cars on the lead lap at one point. I didn't even realize that we were just running so fast there and just trying to keep Zach behind me. But yeah, it was awesome to get this one. I know my daughter is pretty excited about it. I got a 7-year-old, Evie, and I know she's super excited to know that I got this win here at Bristol. So I was happy to get it done.
Yeah, your second win in the series, first one of the season. So I know you've been pretty good here on these short tracks here. Just looking in the past, came very close at Rockingham a couple seasons ago. A couple runner-ups at some other tracks. Actually, runner-up at Homestead in the first season of the series. Homestead coming up here on the schedule pretty shortly, as well as Kentucky, another track where we saw you run up front as well. So how you fancying maybe getting to 2 or 3 wins here before the chase starts?
I would love to do that. I love Kentucky. I know that there's not a lot that do that I'm around, but I like those odd shaped tracks. Not sure why. Just enjoy them. Um, I've had some good runs at Kentucky and would look forward to maybe getting lucky enough to get another win back to back would be nice. But a lot of great talent in this one. So when you get a win here, just like in any one of the series in the MRL, it's special because you had to work for it. I run with a lot of great guys that could win every race, given the opportunity, and a lot of other teams got great racers in here that can do the same. So um, I would love to grab a couple more, but no, it's going to be a fight all the way through to get it.
Some great wins from a great winner. Back over to you, C.
Absolutely. So we appreciate you taking the time to talk about racing and the victory tonight, Jay. Before we let you go, do you have anybody you'd like to recognize or shout out?
Oh yeah, you guys for broadcasting. Always all the way through. Love to go back and watch these, and this one will be a little bit more fun to go back and watch, of course, because getting the win. But you guys do a great job at every race broadcast you guys do. So I want to appreciate you guys, all the admins for putting this stuff together. I know it ain't easy to allow us to do this. Each and every night with just coming in and racing, not to fool with any of the other stuff. So I appreciate you guys, and then my teammates for running with me every night. It's a lot of fun just hanging out with them and getting a race with them. So, and my sponsors, I'd like to thank, of course, the Glade Springs Co. My buddy Jackie Fry, who owns Fry Disposal and Glade Springs Co. for sponsoring my cars and let me support him.
Well, we definitely appreciate you participating in this series and others in the MRL, and we look forward to seeing more and bigger things from you this season and seasons to come. Thank you for taking the time out with us tonight, Jay. Appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Your race winner from Thunder Valley, Jay Stinson in the 98. What a race, Joe. Jay put it all together tonight. Comes home victorious. Absolutely.
Little
Mic
delayed
drop
on it.
moment.
Little delayed on it. Had to pull it up to find it.
Absolutely. So taking a look at our points after Bristol, Ken Redinger still your points leader. Eric Gambrill able to leapfrog Joe Vulpes. Joe Vulpes there with an unfortunate incident there, put him 5 laps down, hurt him in the points. Justin Parham also able to leapfrog Vulpes, takes the 3rd position. This points battle is starting to tighten up here with just 4 races remaining in the regular season. Matt Novella rounds out the top 5 there. Matt put together a great drive tonight. We'll see if he can do a little bit of more of that, sprinkle a little bit of that movie magic and see where he ends up. Jay Stinson, after that victory tonight, moves up into the 6th position. So Jay with the momentum tonight will, like he said, he's looking forward to some of these upcoming tracks, Joe. It's going to be interesting to see what he can do to position himself for the chase. Steve Lewis didn't have the race that he was looking for. Little bit of self-inflicted wounds there. He's going to drop to 7th. Dalton Connor holds serve in 8th. Matthew Fritz continues to steadily do what he needs to do. A good finish tonight in 9th. And Tommy Fox running so good tonight. Got caught up in some unfortunate circumstance. He rounds out the top 10.
Yeah, I think I'm looking at from those top 10. A lot of those guys now with 8 starts, so they're safe now on eligibility once you get to those 8 starts. Now it's all about having the points for him. John Beverly, another starting park here tonight, is able to strategically move his way up to 11th. Right now, just being here and being in attendance is doing him wonders. We'll see what he's able to do when he's back at full force and full health. 11th in the points last season. He was pretty much top 6, top 5 in front of Steve Lewis for most of the regular season and in the chase as well. So right now, just doing what he needs to do to make sure he's in the dance once again. Andrew Davis moves his way up to 12th with a big day here today. Gets his way in front of Brandon Garand, who misses the race. Those two only separated by 4 points, though. Jack Sanders misses tonight's race, but doesn't lose out too much, is now gone from 14 to 18 points off the cut, so still some good hope for him. David Brenner closes in. He's 24 off the cut. Buddy Sully missing the race. Now needs to make the last 4 races consecutively, as well as Sam Elkin, Richard Swingle, and Jason Rochelle, as those are the only other guys still eligible to make the chase.
So it's still anybody's guess who's going to make it in the chase. You take a look at these points, Joe, and I would say that maybe the front half of this top 12 are firmly rooted, but you can't take anything for granted. Anything can happen. And there's still plenty of racing left. So with that being said, we'll take a look at our schedule as we did pre-race. And next week we go to Kentucky. So that's going to be interesting. But the MRL puts together quite the portfolio of different series to participate in. It all starts on Monday night. We have the Monday Night Mayhem Cup Series, and these guys are getting down. They're getting dirty. They just raced last week at Richmond, put together a good ride, a good short track performance at Richmond. They're going to set their sights on the Legacy Atlanta layout this Monday night. It's going to be a special military appreciation night, so make sure you get on the Vortex Racing Network, VRN, to see the coverage. Going to be quite the broadcast. Mean Gene Money and Zach Panzarella on the point for that production. Practice starts at 10 p.m. Eastern. They go live at 11 p.m. Eastern. Just make sure you hit the like, the subscribe, and the bell icons and all the good stuff there. And then Tuesday night, the Early Bird Series. They're in a reformulating process. They're trying to get this series off the ground. I think they're talking about maybe starting the series an hour later to that 7 p.m. Eastern time slot. More news on that as we receive it. And of course, they'll readjust the schedule you see there, and we'll bring you all the updates when we have them. And then Wednesday, Hump Day, the middle of the week, it's the DDI Moonlight Truck Series. It's the DDI Racing League, the MRL truck guys, all lopped together in a powerhouse field. It's a gauntlet there. They have an incredible thing there. It's on a new night, Wednesday night. You have to check out that coverage. They do the tape delay broadcast. You'll see that on the Vortex Racing Network as well. And then Thursday night, another day switch for the O'Reilly Series. It used to be the Wednesday night Xfinity Series. Now it's the Thursday night Thriller O'Reilly Series. They just had their season opener at Auto Club on Thursday night, and I'm going to tell you something. That was a hell of a race. It's a great group there, quite a great roster. They set their sights to Dover next week. Incredible. No broadcast on that at the moment. We'll try to figure something out as we can. And then you just witnessed it here. Friday Night Thunder. This is where all the action is. This is where Jay Stinson just put down a thumping here in Thunder Valley. Things are really spicing up. So stick with us on the rebroadcast every Saturday night on the MRL Broadcasting channel on YouTube. Make sure you like and subscribe so you stay in the know. So, Joe, little thoughts on our short track excursion at Bristol tonight?
Yeah, last short track that we're going to have for a little bit here, so I hope everybody got their short track fix here, as we're going to have some mile and a half and super speedways coming up here over the next couple of weeks. Only one caution, a couple incidents though, so we'll see if maybe that was just something weird with iRacing for no more than one caution. Very weird timing on the caution as well. It had to be thrown by an admin in order for it to come out at all. especially with what happened. So weird stuff at Bristol, I guess, going on here all week in the MRL series. So something to look back on and be like, huh, that was kind of weird, but pretty much a very clean race. And now we're gonna go back to Kentucky, a fun track with some good tire wear as well, different fuel percentages than in the past. So we'll see how that all factors into another week of action for these boys.
Yeah, it was incredible to watch it unfold tonight. Bristol never disappoints, always great battles, one of the hallowed grounds of all of racing. Congratulations once again to Jay Stinson tonight. We look forward to bringing the coverage next week from Kentucky. Going to be another banger of a race, so make sure that you're here for Smokin' Joe in the pits. And beside me on the broadcast, I'm your host, Nate, and remember, go fast or get past.